You're not missing them. You're craving them like a drug, and your brain is in full withdrawal right now. You feel it in your chest before you even check your phone. That heavy, sinking pit in your stomach, the sudden spike in your heart rate, and that obsessive, nagging need to know what they're doing, who they're with, and if they're thinking about you. If you've ever felt like you are literally addicted to your own heartbreak, you aren't crazy and you aren't weak. Your brain begs for more. This is a chemical hijack of your entire nervous system. We've all been there, staring at a blank screen, waiting for a text that may never come, or worse, receiving a hey that sends you into a dizzying spiral of hope and anxiety. I'm going to show you exactly how to snap that invisible leash and reclaim the power you've been bleeding out for months, or maybe even years. This is the moment you stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming the architect of your freedom. To understand how to break free, we have to look at the invisible leash for what it actually is. It's a trauma bond, and it's one of the most powerful psychological forces on the planet. Most people think they stay in toxic relationships because of love, but that's the first lie your brain tells you to keep you safe. In reality, your brain has been rewired by a process called intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine in Vegas. If that machine paid out every single time you pulled the lever, you'd get bored. But because it only pays out occasionally, at random, unpredictable intervals, you stay glued to that chair, pouring your life savings into the machine, hoping for the next win. That is exactly what a toxic partner does to your dopamine levels. They give you just enough affection, just enough good days, and just enough I'm sorries to keep you hooked through the weeks of neglect and chaos. The person. You are addicted to the relief that comes when the pain finally stops for a second. This isn't a character flaw. It's actually a survival mechanism gone wrong. Deep in your lizard brain, your body has associated this person with survival. When they pull away, your nervous system interprets it as a life-threatening abandonment. This is why you feel that physical gut punch or the sensation that you can't breathe when things go south. But here is the hard truth. You are trying to survive in a burning building, and the person who lit the match is the one you're looking to for water. You have to realize that the karma in a karma bond isn't about being punished for past lies. It's about a lesson you haven't learned yet in this one. It's an energetic loop that keeps repeating because you are searching for a sense of worth in the very place it was stolen from you. As we move deeper into the core of this addiction, we have to talk about the system error in your mind. The answer lies in your shadow self, the parts of you that were told long ago that love has to be earned, that it has to be hard, or that it has to be dramatic to be real. Many of us grew up with childhood scripts where we had to perform or fix things to feel seen. Consequently, when we meet someone toxic, they feel familiar. Our brain mistakes that familiarity for chemistry or fate. You aren't meeting a soulmate. You are meeting a mirror of your unhealed wounds. This is the psychological pivot you need to make right now. Stop looking at this bond as a tragic romance and start looking at it as a biological glitch. Once you realize that your brain is just running an old, outdated program, you gain the power to hit the delete key. You are not a victim of some cosmic destiny to be unhappy. You are simply stuck in a loop that you finally have the tools to break. This is the end of the addiction. Breaking a toxic karma bond is not a negotiation. It is a full-scale tactical withdrawal. If you try to slowly distance yourself or remain friends, you are just leaving the door cracked open for the ghost of that addiction to walk back in. The U.S. psychology market calls this the emotional detox, and it is the most brutal yet rewarding phase of your journey. You have to treat this like a literal substance addiction. You wouldn't tell an alcoholic to just have one drink a week, and you cannot tell a trauma-bonded person to just check their ex's Instagram once in a while. Every time you look at their profile, every time you ask a mutual friend how they are doing, and every time you reread old texts, you are hitting the play button on that chemical loop. You are resetting the clock on your healing. We implement the boundary wall. This isn't just about blocking a number. It's about digital fasting and low information living. You need to starve the monster of the attention it craves. Setting these boundaries isn't a confrontation. It is an act of high-level self-defense. In the U.S., we often feel the need to explain ourselves, to give a closure speech, or to make sure the other person understands why we are leaving. But here is the cold, hard truth. Silence is the only closure you will ever get from a toxic person. Any words you give them are just more ammunition they can use to pull you back in. When you build your fortress of peace, you are telling your subconscious that your sanity is more important than their reaction. This is where the shadow work becomes practical. You have to sit in the boredom and the discomfort that follows the silence. Without the drama, without the constant highs and lows, your life might feel empty at first. That emptiness isn't a bad thing. It's the vacuum left behind by a storm. You have to learn to be okay with the quiet, because the quiet is where your power lives. To make this detox stick, you need quick win psychological anchors. This is called habit replacement. Instead of checking their page, you open a note on your phone where you've listed every single time they made you feel small, every lie they told, and every time they weren't there when you needed them. We tend to euphorically recall the good moments while filtering out the trauma. Your list is the reality check. You are building an impenetrable wall, not to lock yourself away from the world, but to keep the poison out. You are reclaiming the real estate in your mind that has been occupied by someone who didn't pay rent. This phase is about grit. It's about choosing a temporary, sharp pain of separation over the long, dull, soul-crushing ache of a life spent in a toxic loop. You are finally taking the steering wheel back, and you are driving toward a horizon where their name no longer has the power to make your heart skip a beat. This is the moment everything shifts. We've survived the withdrawal. We've built the walls, and now we enter the main character phase of your life. This is the rebirth. For so long, your identity was defined by how well you could handle their chaos, how much you could forgive, and how much of yourself you could shrink to fit into their world. But as that toxic bond snaps, something incredible happens. You experience energy recapture. Think of all the mental RAM you are using to analyze their moods, decode their texts, and wonder where you stood. That massive amount of energy is now flooding back into your own system. It's about using that reclaimed power to fuel your own dreams, your fitness, your career, and your actual joy. You are no longer a supporting character in someone else's tragedy. You are the protagonist of your own epic. Psychologically, reclaiming your identity means rediscovering the person you were before the world, and that relationship told you who you had to be. By choosing yourself, you are protecting that light. This is the final choice. It goes beyond a simple breakup. You are deciding that you would rather be alone and at peace than in love and in pieces. The ultimate victory isn't when they realize they lost you. It's when you realize you've gained yourself. The bond wasn't broken because they changed or finally apologized. It was broken because you evolved into someone they no longer recognize. You have outgrown the cage. As you step into this new frequency, you'll notice that the karma has finally been resolved. The lesson is learned, the cycle is closed, and you are finally truly free. Walk away and don't look back. The version of you that stayed there doesn't exist anymore. Your new life is waiting, and it's more beautiful than anything that toxic bond ever promised you. Choose your power. Choose your peace. Choose your future.